Hey guys, I got a call from Dennis Spellman of Covering Katie News today, and he informed me that apparently in one picture in our report last night on the CCP in Fort Bend County, that there was a picture where the Chinese delegation was sitting in the Fort Bend County offices, and one person in that picture was identified as a part of the foreign delegation, when in fact that may not have been the case. So we've pulled that part of the interview out. Otherwise, the interview is good to go. Have a great day.
This is the Chris Heasley Show, a Mike Kahn presentation. Coming to you from Radio to Bang, the North America's premier broadcasting network.
Hello, this is Chris Heasley with the Chris Heasley Radio Show. And on tonight's show, we will ask the question, is there a Manchurian element creeping in Fort Bend County? About 2 years ago, State Senator Louise Kohlhurst proposed State Senate Bill 147, which would have prohibited certain countries from being able to buy land in the state of Texas near our infrastructure and other security assets. It was only targeted towards countries that had an adversarial position towards the United States, one of which was China. Of the 254 counties in the state of Texas, there was only one county that led a rally to oppose State Senator Kohlhurst's bill, and that was the Texas Democrats in Fort Bend County. The Texas Democrats in Fort Bend County made the opposition of State Senator Louise Kohlhurst's bill their primary driver for one quarter. While the other 253 counties in the state of Texas did not take a stance on this matter because it's only common sense, for some reason our Texas Democrats in Fort Bend County had the driving mission to oppose this bill. Why? Makes no sense. Why would anybody oppose that bill? And what was the Texas Democrats in Fort Bend's argument? Their argument was that if you agreed that these lands should be prohibited from foreign interests from purchasing them, that you were a bigot. They used the race card. You were a racist if you believed that defending the land and the sovereignty of the state of Texas was a primary thing to do. That made you a racist. Makes no sense. Why would they take this stance? They pretended like the burning issue on the minds of the people of Fort Bend County was to ensure that foreign interests could buy land near our security assets. That's what your Texas Democrats brought 2 years ago. Why would they do that? It makes no sense. Was there a foreign element guiding them? You tell me. Right now, the Sands Corporation, through their Texas Defense Pact, is leading an effort to make casinos a driving issue in the state of Texas, and they're doing it through the Texas Republicans. The Sands Corporation that only owns land in one country, China. They own it in Macau, China. That's the only land they own. And they're driving to get casinos here in the state of Texas through the Texas Republicans. Casinos. One more thing to contribute to the moral decay of our people, being driven by a foreign element in our state of Texas. So we have to ask the question, is there a Manchurian element in the state of Texas? And which of our elected officials are pushing that agenda? Which of our elected officials are driving a foreign agenda on our people? That's the question. On tonight's show, we're going to cover that. We're going to cover it specifically in Fort Bend County. And on tonight's show, we have Soloman, the CEO and vice chairman of Republicans Overseas. He plays a role for the Republican Party in ensuring that our Republicans that live overseas get the opportunity to vote here in America. I'll let him explain that more. But he's also known as the CCP hunter. and he's going to talk about this question. And Soloman, are you there?
I am here.
Great, great. So Soloman, did I describe your current position correctly? Could you please firm that up for me?
Yes, as Vice Chairman and CEO of Republicans Overseas, I am responsible for 9 million overseas Americans. I'm representing them and push their issues in Congress and in the White House. Also, I bring their votes home to expand House majority and Senate majority and to elect next Republican president in 2028.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you found yourself in today playing a role in American politics.
I was born in Shanghai, China, and survived Mao's Cultural Revolution, escaped, found freedom in America as a private international student, landed in Anchorage, Alaska on October 23rd, 1980. That was my liberation day. I only knew 2 English phrases, thank you and Coca-Cola. So I literally start from ABC, got my BA in management sciences and MBA, and got my green card under third preference. The concept of third preference, you are an expert in the field. So U.S. Labor Department gave me a title, international trade economist, and then got married to a Greek doctor and moved to Salem, Oregon, and started my own business, import and manufacturing medical gloves, and getting pretty good at it. And one thing realized was, guess what? It's time to defend the newly found freedom I have. And if I don't do that, if we lose this republic, I have no place to go. And so do 77 million Trump voters. And with that in mind, I always tell people a lesson I learned during Mao's Cultural Revolution. And my communist teacher showed us a propaganda film, Saigon Evacuation. And those Vietnamese refugees got on U.S. Marine choppers from U.S. Embassy roof, and they found their freedom. But I also realized at this point, and if we lose this republic, there wouldn't be any choppers for us. This is it. So got myself elected since 2000 to Republican National Committee. I am responsible for National Committee policies, platform on that thing. At the same time, I am what I call myself as CCP infiltration detective, and like you said, a hunter. And my biggest score was bring down RNC treasurer Tony Parker, who showed up in Beijing, have his picture taken with Xi Jinping. And Xi Jinping used him to pop up CCP. So that is a big no-no to me. And of course, many CCP infiltration to the National Committee. And each time that happened, I would be the one and to shut them down.
Very interesting. So maybe we can start. Tell me about what is the driving interest of the CCP in America? Why? What is their goals when they do these infiltration tactics?
Couple of things. One, they want to steal our technology. They want to recruit CCP agents. And that's why you see this kind of penetration or infiltration. And when they infiltrate us, those infiltrators, they speak our language and wear our uniform. And the other thing is, before Trump, and you have Bush Sr. and Bush 43, and they are very, very friendly to CCP. Good example would be I organize RNC members for Taiwan ambassador Chinese New Year banquets at a Twin Oaks estate every year. Bush 43 brother doing lots of business in China, and he told me, don't let RNC chairman to attend that banquet. You can take RNC co-chairman, but not chairman. So with this kind of knowledge, we got a problem. And I waited so long for somebody like Donald Trump, and who actually closed CCP Houston Consul General's office for spying.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I want to read a quote from President Donald Trump. Quote, China is buying up our country while corrupt Democrats and rhino-type politicians in Washington have been spending trillions of dollars on the Green New Deal nonsense, foolish foreign wars, and providing lavish benefits to illegal aliens from all over the planet. China has been spending trillions of dollars to take over the crown jewels of the United States economy. And they are doing that. China is buying up our technology. They are buying up food supplies. They are buying up our farmland. They are buying up our minerals and natural resources. They are buying up our parts and shipping terminals. Unquote, Donald J. Trump, 45th to 47th president of the United States. He said that when he was the 45th president.
Right.
And he subsequently shut down the Houston consulate. Tell me about that, because that was quite a momentous event. I'll give some of my perspectives on that, but I want to hear what your opinion is of when President Trump shut down the Houston consulate. Why did he do it?
Because the consulate always is a spy nest, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs really is a spy agency for China. And the difference is those spies came here as diplomats. They got a diplomatic immunities. So you can't do anything to them. You can't arrest them. So for that reason, the only thing Trump could do is shut down the spy agency in Houston. That's it.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. I'm making notes here. Making notes. Give me 1 second here, guys. Okay, we're going to talk more about that. And if you can give me 1 second, Soloman, I have to go over our feature product. I am becoming known in Fort Bend County as the X39 guy. This is the X39 patch. This is the most incredible medical technology possibly ever introduced to man, because this patch, it reverses age. It reverses age. I don't think there's anything more I need to say about it. It is the X39 patch. Now, when I say it reverses age, what does that mean? It means that all clinical trials are done. It's a patch you wear on your body. I have mine right now, right here on my wrist. And I wear it 12 hours a day. And 12 hours a day, and then I take it off and throw it away. And 12 hours later on, I put it on again for another 12 hours. And after 6 months of use of this patch, it reverses the age of your heart by 8 years. Okay? That is a fact. All clinical trials are done. All legal filings are made. This patch reverses the age of your heart by 8 years. The clinical trials stop at 6 months, okay? And they show that after 6 months of use, it turns your heart back by almost a decade. But what the testimonials are saying is that it's doing much more than that. Now, if you type in X39 and any medical condition on Facebook, you'll see the testimonials populate. Type in X39 plus tinnitus. Type in X39 plus lower back pain, so on and so forth, and watch the testimonials just overpopulate, okay? Because this patch is amazing. It's photolight therapy. And what the whole concept is, your body emits light. It's true. It emits light. And this patch redirects the light back into your body, triggers the copper peptide that then awakens dormant stem cells. And stem cells are the essence of life. all medical companies are trying to crack the code of stem cells. The X39 patch has cracked the code of stem cells. It reverses the age of your heart. It doesn't slow age. It's not anti-aging. It reverses age. And what does it mean to the ladies out there? It means that it does a lot of things. It comes out of the body in a number of ways. Like I said, it might heal pains and aches and all these other things. But the one thing it does, it makes you look younger. That's without question, you will look younger. So my question to the ladies out there, would you like to look almost a decade younger? Would you? My question to the gentleman out there, wouldn't this be an incredible gift for your wife? You know, the other thing that it does is it gives you incredible amounts of energy. At least it did for me. And that means I can stay up later in the late night hours. I can wake up earlier. I can wake up without fog brain, crack of dawn. I'm doing complex work like the one we're doing tonight. It's the X39 patch, the LifeWave X39 patch, coming to you from the Chris Heasley Show on Radio to Bang. And to learn more about it, very affordable, we'll help you out there. Inbox me on Facebook, or text me if you have my cell phone. It's the X39 patch. We'll help you get set up. All right, guys, appreciate it. And it's a great business opportunity, too. With that, we're going to get back to business here. If we can bring Soloman back up. Soloman, my question for you. What were they doing in the Houston consulate that forced Trump to... I know they're spying, but the reason I ask that is because when they shut down the Houston consulate, the Houston Fire Department rushed the building. The consulate officials and employees were not allowing. There was almost a fist fight between Houston Fire Department workers and the consulate workers, right? The firemen and the workers, they were almost fist fighting. And they're burning down the building, and they're not allowing our fire department to get in there and access. What in the heck was that all about?
They were burning records. They are collecting information, data, and some of the data regarding Chinese Americans who have relatives still back in China, and those things get back to the relatives, and those relatives would be in trouble. So for one thing. Another thing is Houston Consulate General's office have developed lots of CCP proxies, operatives. And that's why your county actually have been totally infiltrated.
I'd like to point out, was there any other consulate or embassy that Trump shut down in the United States besides the Houston consulate?
No, that's the only one. What I like to see is San Francisco consulate to be shut down. But let's wait a little bit and see how this one is going to go.
For whatever reason, Trump chose the Houston consulate. Out of the 50 states in America, he chose one. My thought when I saw them burning that is they were burning ballots, because it was like the Texas Democrats were impervious to elections, no matter how much we voted. But I don't know. Okay, so let's go on to so the Houston consulate's gone, and you're saying that the consulate reformed unofficially. Is that correct?
That's correct. Under Chinese Civic Center, run by CCP as well. And you are one of the Republican candidate for county clerk. Her father actually is senior legal advisor, a diehard CCP member, and who served as a legal counsel for them.
Okay, who are you referring to?
Mr. Zhang, Professor Zhang.
And it is
his father.
You're referring to J.J. Clements.
Yeah, J.J. Clements' father, and his last name is family name is Zhang, Z-H-A-N-G, and J-I-O-N-P-I-N-G.
And what is JJ's Chinese name?
I go by her, English name, J.J. Clements.
Okay. But that's her father. By the way, I'd like everyone to know we invited JJ Clements onto this show multiple times to present her side of the story. She declined those offers. So her father being involved, I understand that that's not exactly the best thing, but they're two separate people. So it doesn't necessarily prove anything against her.
Correct. But on the other hand, apple falls not far from the apple tree, right? But there's something worse than you and I realized when they first bring this case. Actually, the case brought to me by the reporter, Jeff Reynolds. And he said, everything is in Chinese. You need to take a look about this. So I saw. What got my attention was why Chinese CCP Spy Master Li, who is the Consul General of Houston, seated JJ at his head table for China National Day. And also Jing Wu. When I saw this, I said, oh my God, they penetrated both parties, Republican and Democrat Party. Okay, so that was my first impression. And then if you have a picture, you need to show
okay. And I'd like to say Jing Wu spearheaded the effort to kill Senator Louise Kolkhorst's bill to prohibit China from buying land near Texas infrastructure and assets. Fuma, if we can show one of the three pictures, if you could put those on the screen, please. There we go. You explain what these pictures are, Soloman.
Oh, that's the delegation from Nanjing, and the JJ bring to your county for sister city relationship exchange, which against HB 128. That's a direct violation.
Okay.
And by the way, go ahead.
That picture is in Fort Bend County's Commissioner Court. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And who is sitting in those seats in the Fort Bend County Commissioner's Court? Who are those people? What country do they represent?
They are representing China and the city of Nanjing, and to do sister city relationship visit.
Okay. So first thing I want to say about sister city programs, I have no idea why these things exist. They are just a honeypot for corruption. There is no, can you imagine that we send our Texas Democrats over to China to go to our sister city? Those guys are going to be honeypotted so quick. They're going to flash so many young women in front of them and do whatever they got to do. It breeds corruption. I've opposed these things since I first heard of them. Sister city, it makes no sense. Why do we need sister cities other than for nefarious foreign interests? That's just my gut instinct on the whole concept of sister cities. They're nefarious from the get-go.
You're right. As a matter of fact, from a CCP infiltration hunter perspective, this is circumventing Trump's shutdown order, of the Houston spy nest. And so what they do is they come back through a sister city delegation from Nanjing. As a matter of fact, if you can find a list of delegates of that delegation, there is a spy.
Okay, so JJ Clements played a considerable role in attempting to form a sister city program, but I don't think but is that correct? She played a considerable role in attempting to form a sister city program with a Chinese city.
Yes, he asked Judge KP George.
JJ Clements asked KP George. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to invite them. And, but that really is going through the back door. circumventing Trump's shutdown order, because there is a spy in that delegation. I can show you.
Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. I'm going to make a note. I got that note already ready for you. I believe, I'd like to point out, I do not believe a sister city program was ever officially initiated, but by the looks of all of these activities, it certainly looks like that was the intent. Am I correct on that?
That's correct.
Okay. Fuma, can you bring up the next picture, please?
Oh my God. This lady name is Bao Lu. And Bao Lu actually is a CCP operative and recruiting so-called foreign talents for CCP. The reason they want to recruit American experts on variety disciplines is to, one, steal our secrets and steal our patent and make CCP more stronger to take over the world. And Xi Jinping's dream is to replace America as a world-only superpower. Okay, so she is the CCP operative doing this. But the problem with this picture is she actually is giving a speech at Houston Consul General office.
I want to point one thing out. There's a lot of our county officials who are good people who, anyone could have been duped. I'm not saying okay. The jury's out. I'm not making any assumptions. I'm bringing this argument. We invited JJ on. She didn't want to come, but the audience decides. You decide based on what we're saying. But I'd like to point out that if this was a nefarious effort, I think a lot of good people in our county government could have easily fallen for it, and not in any ill intent way. So generally speaking, the people of Fort Bend County are very trusting. That just is what it is. And they're good people. And so I want to make sure that we are not, accusing people that may have just, been at the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm sorry. Go back to your argument, please.
So if you have another picture, I will.
Do we have a fourth picture, Fuma? No, I'm sorry. That's all the pictures I had.
Okay.
But
now I'm going to show you guys some pictures.
Okay. Okay, I see the word campaign team. Coach my campaign team. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And thank you for coaching my campaign team. Who coached JJ's campaign team is this lady, Bao Lu.
And we had her picture up. We had her picture up.
Oh.
Bao Lu.
Yes,
you can put that picture up again, Fuma, of Bao Lu. Baoliu. There we go. Bao Lu.
Yeah. She was giving speech to Consul General's people. And at the same time, she is coaching JJ's campaign team. You talk about CCP infiltration. This is it.
So I want to say a couple things. Please, go ahead.
I call smoking gun.
Okay. JJ Clements is currently running for county clerk of Fort Bend County. County clerk has access to all of our mortgage information, including our personal data, including our contact data. The county clerk also has voting information and is highly involved in elections. So the county clerk position is one that is not very well known, but it is absolutely a high importance, critical role in the county. JJ Clements has worked in the Republican Party for multiple Republican officials in their offices. I'm going to say it. I don't think that these officials were ill intent, but maybe made a hiring decision that we should have thought twice about. Floor is yours, Solomon.
Before Trump 45, and there are many Republicans doing business in China. And also, they don't have the kind of awareness like Trump had, and to shut down Chinese Houston Consul General's office. And so for that, and JJ could have working for them as an outreach person. And I don't blame those officials to hire her, but I do blame her squarely, okay? This woman is CCP operative and even coaching Consul General staff. That's a spy nest, right? And Trump just shut down. And she got her to coach her campaign team and thank her for that.
I mean, I think it is effective brilliance, and I'm going to explain why. Because where the state of Texas goes, the country goes, right? If we can turn Texas blue, the country goes blue forever. It's done, right? And the Texas Democrats, they have a firm hold on all of our metropolitan urban centers. They need the attached suburban areas, and their prime target is Fort Bend County. When that domino falls, all the rest fall. Because of Fort Bend County's the most diverse county ethnically in the country, and Texas Democrats have always leveraged ethnic division to attain control of a county. So this is the ripest place for the Texas Democrats to get a hold of. And could that be the reason that the Texas Democrats are out there protesting Senator Louise Kolker's her state Senate Bill 147? Could that be the reason that sister city delegations are being led into Fort Bend County? Could that be the reason, out of all of the consulates in the country, President Trump shuts down Houston and they nearly burn the consulate to the ground? There's a lot of smoke near this fire.
Right. And that is the reason I want you to think about this, because I've been on the national committee and electing Republican presidents for 24 years. And Texas electoral votes is so important for us to keep the White House 2028. So this kind of infiltration put a J.D. Vance presidency at risk. That's my concern when Jeff Reynolds, the reporter, bring the case to me, ask me to review.
Solomon, I think that you've presented a lot of things that we need to think about. Quite a revealing time that we've spent together. Is there anything that you want to say here as we close out?
Mike,
and if you have more content information, I've run out of questions. But please, if you have more pertinent information that I've not pulled out of you yet, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. My thought is very, very clear. Okay, and this is fighting against CCP infiltration of Texas. Really is a bipartisan issue, and Texas patriots, doesn't matter from Republican Party or from Democrat Party. I'm talking about those voters. Both need to be aware. And you got a Manchuria candidate and representing CCP interest in your county. That would be my closing thought.
Well, we appreciate your time. Quite a controversial issue. Oh, man. Thank you very much. Solomon, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I want to thank Radio DeBang and the DeBang Studios for continuing to bring content on all sides of the issues, left and right. Radio DeBang has continued to play a pivotal role in the restoration of the greater Houston area. So we want to put a thank out to Radio DeBang. Thank out to Fuma for doing a great job in the back office. And thank you to the whole team that helps me put this show together. We appreciate everyone. And with that being said, this is Chris Heasley with the Chris Heasley Radio Show. We will be back next week bringing you all the necessary information to learn about the pivotal issues in this election that's happening right now. The future's on the line. Tune into the Chris Heasley Radio Show on Radio DeBang next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. We got great shows coming up. Have a great week. Thank you very much.